Congressman, thank you for joining us. This topic is so disturbing to so many people, especially after they saw Patty Morin, another Marylander who's actually a constituent of Senator Van Hollen, pleading for him to pay attention to what happened to her daughter instead of flying out for an MS-13 gang member in El Salvador and pleading for his return to our country. Your thoughts?
Well, Rachel, first of all, thank you so much for having me with you this morning. I'm honored to be here. And yes, it is. It's almost been staggering to watch what has transpired here over the last several days as Senator Van Hollen made his trip down to El Salvador, trying to hunt down Mr. Garcia and have a meeting with him. The whole thing is just extremely disconcerting to all Americans, and should be. Because, again, there seems to be a narrative that is trying to be pushed, or a narrative created, that this is a Maryland man, that this is a Maryland dad, a Maryland husband, when in reality, he's not a Maryland man. He is actually a national of El Salvador who is a gang member of MS-13, who is rightly deported, and his deportation is not only necessary, but overdue, quite frankly.
Yeah, and he was accused by his own wife several times and charged with domestic abuse, which is another thing for us to be concerned about. And when she was asked on television about about those cases, it was the most awkward silence, almost like she's still afraid to talk about it.
That's exactly right. And again, this is very different from the narrative that the left has tried to create here. But this is a gang member that needed to be deported. And instead of celebrating what has happened thus far since President Trump has taken office and the thousands of criminals that have been deported, they seem to be taking this single case and making a big deal about it and trying to create a narrative that is just not accurate. And we need to stand up to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the American people are buying it. I mean, one of the ways that you can look, I mean, it may sound trivial to you, but it's part of culture, are the memes. I was online yesterday, and there's all these pictures of Van Hollen and Pelosi, and they've put tattoos all over their faces like they're Tren de Aragua, and a lot of people comparing saying that the Van Hollen visit was more of a conjugal visit because he just seems so enamored with this guy versus his own constituents. So I don't think the American people are buying. What's your last word? Because Van Hollen's going to appear on Shannon Bream's Fox News Sunday show in just a few minutes here, less than an hour. What do you think will happen there? Because I don't know how he's going to answer this.
Well, I think it's just disheartening for the amount of time that has been invested and the thousands and thousands of dollars that have been spent of taxpayer money, I assume, to fly him down there to El Salvador and to visit and go through all of this. But it's disheartening because we know that his real constituent has not gotten the attention that she should have received, and the death of her daughter. And I think that it is disheartening to Americans. And I think Americans, as you point out, are certainly aware of the reality of what's happening here.
Yeah, you can be on the side of American citizens or on the side of gang members and foreign citizens to boot. All right, Congressman, so great to have you on. Congressman Mark Harris from North Carolina.
Thank you. Have a happy Easter.
You too.